All right, y'all, gather round because Monet Exchange from Sibling Rivalry is here with an announcement. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Google Gemini. Now listen, the girls over at Google said, Monet, tell the children, so I'm telling you. U.S. college students get Google Gemini's Pro Plan free for 1 year. Use the best model in the world for multimodal understanding, so whether you're uploading a video to get feedback on your presentation, uploading a photo of your homework to ask for help, or transcribing notes from a lecture you missed, Gemini 3 Pro can help. And baby, if I had this in college, she would have been unstoppable. Picture it. Monet Exchange in the library, uploading a picture of my music theory homework like, Gemini, please help a diva out. Or recording my rehearsal videos for feedback instead of crying in the practice room for 3 hours. This would have been life-changing. Now, back to the goods. Sign up to get more access to Google's most accurate model, Gemini 3 Pro. Unlimited image uploads, pro-level image editing, higher limits in Notebook LM, Gemini in Gmail and Docs, 2 terabytes of storage, and more. You heard me, 2 terabytes. That's enough space to store every vocal warm-up, drag race look, and every photo your aunt sends you of her plants. Visit gemini.google/students to learn more and sign up. Terms apply.
Sparkle throughout the night with Born in Roma fragrances by Valentino Beauty. Each bottle holds the energy of Rome after dark. Donna Born in Roma blends luxurious jasmine with rich, creamy vanilla, creating a sensual and vibrant signature scent. Uomo Born in Roma fuses aromatic sage and smoked vetiver, leaving a lasting impression that lingers well into the early hours. Shop Born in Roma by Valentino Beauty now at Ulta.
When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite, obey your thirst.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Blah, 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 blah. See, that's the things that are coming out of your mouth, child. Babbling, insanity, delusions.
Dr. Steve, I hope you're better at prostate screenings than you are at radio screenings, you son of a bitch.
If you just read the bio for Dr. Steve, host of Weird Medicine on Sirius XM 103 and made popular by 2 really comedy shows, Opie and Anthony and Ron and Fez, you would have thought that this guy was a bit of, a clown.
Why can't you give me the respect that I'm entitled to?
I've got diphtheria crushing my esophagus. I've got Ebola virus dripping from my nose. I've got the leprosy of the heart valve, exacerbating my incredible woes. I want to take my brain out and blast it with the wave, an ultrasonic, echographic, and a pulsating shave. I want a magic pill for all my ailments, the health equivalent of Citizen Kane. And if I don't get it now in the tablet, I think I'm doomed and I'll have to go insane. I want a requiem for my disease. So I'm paging Dr. Steve. Dr. Steve.
It's Weird Medicine, the first and still only uncensored medical show in the history of broadcast radio, now a podcast. I'm Dr. Steve with my little pal, Dr. Scott, the traditional Chinese medicine provider, gives me street cred with the whack alternative medicine assholes. Hello, Dr. Scott.
Hey, Dr. Steve.
And number 5, soon to be in the NASCAR circuit in 3 to 4 years, it's Lexi Arnold.
Hello, hello.
From Lexi Arnold Racing. Hello. Thanks for coming back. This is a show for people who never listen to a medical show on the radio or the internet. If you got a question you're embarrassed to take to your regular medical provider, if you can't find an answer anywhere else, give us a call at 347-766-4323. That's 347.
Who is?
Follow us on, don't do that to her again. Follow us on Twitter at Weird Medicine or at drscottwm. Visit our website at drsteve.com for podcast, medical news, and stuff you can buy. Most importantly, we're not your medical providers. Take everything here with a grain of salt. Don't act on anything you hear on this show without talking over with your healthcare provider. Don't forget, it's still the holiday season, so check out DabbleDice at stuff.drsteve.com. It's a fun party game. It says dice throwing party game. Taking the dabbleverse by storm, but you don't have to have any dabbleverse knowledge whatsoever. And this is a fictitious game. Any resemblance to persons living or dead is imaginary. If you see yourself in this game, it says more about you than the game itself. Always drink responsibly. All right, so that's DABBLEDICE. It's fun. We sell them at cost. It's $3.50. If you use offer code FLUID, you get them for 15% off. I had somebody buy 4 of them the other day. It was a substantial discount. So
cool.
All right. Very inexpensive stocking stuffer for anybody who likes dice games. And Dr. Scott's website at simplyherbals.net. We don't know where that's going, so hopefully he'll come to his senses and continue to supply us with the best CBD nasal spray in the country, in my opinion. And I don't know what the hell he's thinking, but anyway, so he's thinking of wrapping it up. I was thinking of wrapping this up, and I came to my senses. So
yeah, and I still may come around.
Okay. Patreon.com/weirdmedicine, where all the cool kids go. And if you want me to say fluid to your mama, I'll do it on cameo.com/weirdmedicine. And that is dirt cheap, too. So I just like doing it. It's fun. So there you go. All right. Now, Scott, you've been paying attention to any medical questions in the Fluid family. If there are any, now is the time to put them in the chat.
Yes.
If you want to join the Fluid family in the waiting room, go to youtube.com/@weirdmedicine and click a like, subscribe, and join. You don't have to pay money to join. You can just click the button that says accept gifted memberships. And every once in a while, Myrtle goes in there and gives out, 10, 20, 50 memberships. And we do some members-only content. It's usually when I upload a Dr. Steve Presents, it goes to the members first. All right.
Right
so
on.
Very good. Now, Lexi, I did forget that you have a gift bag there.
Yes, I saw.
You don't have to open it on the air, but you can if you want to.
I'm kind of intrigued.
I kind of want you to see what's in there, actually.
Okay.
All right.
So we've got some coasters. That'll be in my new apartment.
Show those.
Can't go wrong.
Yep, there you go. I have more of those if you want more. I only gave you 2 of them.
Dr. Steve, is this a cheese cutter?
No, open it up. Take it out.
A cheese cutter?
Nope. Let me tell you what that is. That is a pizza cutter, and it was made by children in Bolivia, believe it or not. My brother does a mission down there, and he's like the good guy in the family. And he taught them how to turn stuff on the lathe and how to make those things and put them together, and they sell them to raise money for the mission down there.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's the coolest pizza cutter I've ever seen, and it is. If you hold it up, it is absolute. Beautiful chrome. Gorgeous, and everything. Yeah, it's really nice.
That's cool, man.
Could have used that 2 days ago.
Well,
that's a great.
Now I got it. No, perfect. No, it's perfect.
That's super cool.
And then you just gotta.
Do I have a drinking game over here?
Look at that DABBLEDICE. I wonder where that came from. I wonder who gave you that.
It is a Saturday. I'll take care of this tonight.
Okay, very good.
There you go.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. We've got a couple pins.
Is it? Do you relish your freedom? Because I know when you were cheering, you had a certain person in your family that was pretty strict about what you could eat and drink and all that kind of stuff.
I'll be honest. Not really. A little bit here and there,
because of your racing now, you've got to.
Because of my racing, I kind of have to
now.
lock in.
So Mom was right after
Mom
all.
was right.
Tee-hee.
But there are a few knots where I like to have a little bit of fun. I didn't drink till I was 21. Never had a fake.
Yeah.
Hated drinking, hated everything, and we've changed since then. So this game will come into play.
If you've ever listened to the show, which I don't know why you would have, one of our sort of creeds is everything in moderation, including everything in moderation, meaning I expect you to wear those stickers at the track. I mean, those pins at the track. I'm just kidding. Meaning that every once in a while you got to blow it out your ass. You got to blow out the pipes every once in a while. Just do it safely.
Every once in a while, yeah.
Anyway, but thank you for coming. And
no, thank you for having me.
When we have prominent guests that come to the studio, they get a little gift bag. So.
No, thank you for all of this.
You're welcome.
Whatever.
I only gave you 2 coasters because I didn't want you having a party, but I guess if you need more, I can give you some more.
You know me well.
All right. Yeah, I see some questions are flooding in. Let's do a couple of the predetermined questions, and then we'll get to the fluid family.
Great.
All right, here we go.
Hey, Dr. Steve.
Hey, man.
Listen, I love the show.
Thanks.
You guys are great. Obviously, I've been listening to you for a very long time.
Thanks,
so
man.
I was just listening to the Don't Eat at the Y episode, which I found very interesting. But you had a caller with a question, 2015. What are you doing? Why are you so far behind, dude? That's
I don't
like
know.
forever ago. Come on, bud. Hurry on. Get through these calls.
Okay, so we are finally have gotten through all the calls that were in the voicemail queue. We had voicemails going back to 2015, so they were 10 years old. And I remember one guy called, and it was kind of an emergency. I'm like, shit, I hope he's okay. Don't call a radio show if you got an emergency. Call 911. But we're finally through with all of those. But I'm just going to tell you, I can't count these, but I have pages and pages of voicemails that I did respond to that we never got to on the show. Scott, it's got to be 3,000.
Goodness.
And some of them go back to 2008. Oh, look at this. Here's Ass Maggot with their hit F the Decade. Hang on a second. Let's hear that real quick.
My.
I just found that at the very bottom of the list. Here we go.
Oh, my.
We didn't have good recording equipment back then, but that was my grindcore band, Ass Maggot.
There you go.
All right. Let's see if there's anything good in the middle of that. Nope. Sounds all the same.
Sounds like Lexi on a Saturday night going around that track.
Watch yourself.
150 miles an hour.
It looks like a fractal that wherever you zoom in, it looks exactly the same. So that's that kind of music. Anyway, but we are no longer behind.
Dr. Steve.
We're no longer. Sorry.
I love the show.
Oh,
you guys
geez.
are great. Obviously, I've been
Thank you.
I think he loves the
How do I
show.
stop
listening to you for a very long time. So I just listened.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, so we are caught up on that, but we are not caught up on the backlog of calls. And then this last 2 weeks, we got a shitload of regular phone calls. So let's take some of these, so we don't get any further.
Dr. Steve.
Hey, man.
Scott, and the Blue family. I got a little personal question to ask you.
Okay.
Out of your, couple of days that you worked in medicine, since Noah's Ark and everything.
Yeah.
Have you personally ever witnessed something that you would consider to be a true miracle?
Yeah, it's a great question. I can say yes to that. What about you, Scott?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Well, the problem is we have to be careful because of HIPAA. But let's just say, how can I put this? That there was someone who everyone, this won't identify anybody, and this was 40 years ago, where everyone in the room that was seeing them was saying, this person's going to die. This person's going to die. And there was no reason why they were wrong, right? The condition that this person had, nobody survives it, okay? Mm-hmm. And it's not a cancer diagnosis and not a cardiac diagnosis. So you can be kind of, it was in that realm of neither one of those. But it's one of those things that when it happens, people don't survive. I was a lowly intern and just, said, we believe in miracles. I can't write an order for one, but that's what it's going to take. Mm-hmm. And that guy got up out of that bed and was walking around. And when I went in there, the family was all mad at everybody but me because they said we got that miracle that we talked about, right? Because everybody else was just saying, no, there's no hope. So,
Wow.
And I only bring this up as a cautionary tale to everyone out there, particularly if you're in the medical field and particularly medical students and residents that are listening to this, and there are a few. you be careful when you're hanging crepe in people's rooms, because every once in a while you're going to be proven wrong. If you're trying to get someone to go to comfort focus treatment and they get better, they're going to be mad, and they're going to be mad at you, right? So you got to really know when to have those conversations and how to give yourself an out. Which would be, in my case, just saying, it would take a miracle, but we've seen them. It happens.
Yeah.
But anyway, what about you?
I can think of a couple, but one I can share comfortably. A really massive blood clot from the groin to the ankle, end stage cancer. They didn't think it was going to resolve, and the individual's in such terrible shape on the back for weeks, foot slightly elevated, because anytime you let the foot down, the blood would start to pull up in the leg, and pardon me, terrible pain. The only time they could get up was to go to the bathroom. It was just awful. But we did we had a friend do some.
Sorry, the camera's been on Lexi. Not that anybody's going to complain about that. But
everybody has seen my old.
All
gray,
they can see is the microphone in front of her face.
My fault.
No, it's not your fault.
We did some energy work on. I had a friend do some energy work or healing touch, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you want to call it. And about 6 hours later, that the blood clot had resolved enough, and we were still doing therapeutic treatments, regular medicine treatments too. But I mean, right after we did that, the clot started getting better, and within by the evening was up walking around with no pain.
In one day?
Yeah, within hours.
Wow.
Yeah, within hours, and even and if I told
within
you it
hours
was,
of somebody just rubbing and waving their hands over them.
to a certain degree,
yeah.
But there was other things, healing touch kind of. It was a lot of stuff, but we did not discontinue.
Not traditional stuff.
Well, in addition to some traditional, but the traditional stuff had not gotten anywhere in 2 weeks.
Correct.
But and you would know these people. I told you.
No.
But it was insane. It was just it was literally the most incredible thing I've ever seen.
Wow.
This was up walking around like never had the blood clot.
Wow. Isn't that something?
It was fast. Yeah, it's just fast.
Yeah, and you can posit all kinds of. When we say miracle, what we're talking about are medical things that happen that we can't explain.
Right, we can't explain. Yep. And there may have been
that are so unexpected that they defy logic. But if you delved into it, you might be able to find a mechanism,
of course,
by which that happened.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway,
I mean, hell, it might have happened anyway.
Yeah.
You just don't know.
Now, the only supernatural thing that ever happened to me was my mom was dying. That's why I'm in the job that I'm in. And I had gone to see her, and, I'd said goodbye. She didn't want anybody around. And it was bad. I mean, it was bad what was going on with her. She died over the space of, 2 years. And in the end, it was 2 weeks of just abject misery. And I'm sitting on my front porch, and my girlfriend at the time was in the house, and she was getting something, and I was just sitting out on the front porch of my house. And all of a sudden, I had this intense vision. I don't want to say vision, but impression in my head where I saw from my vantage point myself being born.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And then I saw all these images of my mom and me, but none of the crazy stuff, that made me,
part of
have to go to counseling for 40 years, but just only the good stuff, because there was good stuff.
Of course, yeah.
And there was a lot of good stuff. And I saw all that good stuff, and it got faster and faster and faster and faster until it hit the present. And as soon as it hit the present, and this happened over maybe a minute, 30 seconds, something like that, and I was kind of like back in my chair like Dave Bowman at the end of 2001. And as soon as it ended, the phone rang, and it was my brother saying she had just died.
Oh, my God.
Now that, and then I told my brother about it. I said, oh, you probably had those same images a million times. You just noticed it because I just called you, because he's quite the empiricist, and I am too, but this was so intense. It was hard to ignore it, but anyway. So that's the only sort of miraculous, vaguely, extra sensory thing that I can.
Can I make a real quick one?
Of course.
So I had an old guy who was a Korean War veteran, and he came in one day, and he was at the end of his life, and he told me, he goes,
we're so big on violating HIPAA, but I guess it doesn't apply to you.
Yeah, and they have to do HIPAA with me too.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he wouldn't care. He's deceased.
Okay. All right. This is Dr. Scott telling the story.
Listen, here's the bottom line.
Yeah.
The bottom line is, he says, "Hey, Dr. Scott, my brother Rudy came to visit me last night, and his brother Rudy had been dead for years."
Oh, yeah.
He said, I'll see you in 18. And he looked at me and goes, "What do you think 18 means?" And I looked at him and I said, "Well, I know it's not 18 minutes.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you it's not 18 years. So I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be somewhere
18 days or 18 months or 18 weeks, right?
Let's say 18 months.
Okay.
And I swear to you, I was over at a local establishment here where we both work occasionally, and ran into his daughter. I'm like, "What are you doing here?" She's like, "Well, Dad's up here getting ready to move on out here." And I was like, "Oh my God." And I went back, and it was literally 18 months. He was gone.
Wow.
It was it was fascinating.
Wow. I don't want my brother telling me anything like that.
No,
That's
man, it
a
was
shitty
nuts.
thing to tell somebody.
No, his brother was deceased and came back.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
It was it's
yeah,
crazy.
don't tell me.
Yeah.
Let it be a
out.
mystery.
We won't know, and that's okay.
Anyway.
That's funny.
Right.
Cool, man.
Yeah, Lovett says, "I saw my mom after she passed, the room filled with joy like I've never known. I knew she was in a better place."
No.
Yep, I see. I in my job, I hear of these things all the time. So I guess we'll find out someday, hopefully. Anyway.
The crappy thing was we won't know it.
Yeah, either we'll be dead and there's nothing, or we'll go, "Oh, shit.
Now I get
that's
it.
what.
Now I
get it." That's like me. Somebody gave me candy panties once. Lexi, don't listen to this. And they gave me candy pants, and I thought you put them on, and then you took them off and ate them, and it was like, why? No. And then it was like 2 years later, I'm walking down the street, and it hit me, and I went, "Oh." I am, sometimes things just go over my head.
Now, what on the street made it hit you?
Nothing.
Oh, boy.
I was just walking down the street, and it just, all of a sudden, it dawned on me. I think my brain must have been working on that problem the whole time.
Back in the back corner. And
Yeah. It's called the eureka phenomenon.
Yeah.
But I'm sad that it was all that brain power in the background was going toward that. Now, what do you do with candy pants? Well, you can, you can fry them up.
Well, you can make a cookie out of them.
Yeah, stupid. I'm an idiot. All right, let's do this one. This is a good one.
Hi, Dr. Steve. It's Tom from Michigan.
Hey, Tom.
I have a question that may not be so much medical related.
It is.
As it has to do with medical facilities.
Yep.
Why is it that every nursing home has the same smell?
Oh, that's a good one.
It's to the point where if you blindfolded somebody and walked them through the vestibule of a nursing home, they would know exactly where they're at.
Okay, there's an actual reason for this. First off, they often smell like bodily fluids because there's a lot of incontinence in certain sections of the nursing facility, antiseptic cleaners, medicated creams, that stuff. But there is a distinctive musty / grassy, very distinctive, unforgettable scent called nonial. And what nonial is caused by a certain oil that kind of turns on old people's skin. And
interesting.
It's 2-nonial is the generic name for it. Well, there's not a trade name for it. Nobody's selling it, but the chemical name for it. It's an unsaturated fatty aldehyde. Again, we know aldehydes smell, and it forms on the skin normally as omega-7 fatty acids, and then lipid oxides break down. It's accelerated by aging and reduced antioxidant protection in the skin. And it has, like I said, a greasy or musty scent. And if you want to know how to pronounce it, here's a YouTube video that it's...
You are looking at Julian's pronunciation guide, where we look at how to pronounce better some of the most mispronounced words in the world, like this other curious word, but how Do you say what you're looking for today? Word pronunciation, English.
Oh my God.
No.
Nonanol. Yeah, I said nonanol. It's nonanol.
Now, is this on everyone's skin?
No. So you have omega-6 fatty acids in your skin, but as you get older, they break down faster because you don't have the antioxidants out there, and so they oxidize and they turn into a sort of rancid fatty acid that has this funny smell. So there you go.
Interesting.
Nonanol. All right? Mm-hmm. So, very interesting.
Very interesting.
All right. Well, I give myself a damn bell.
Give myself a bell.
Have a bell.
Get your hand off my penis!
All right. Now, here's...
Hi, Dr. Steve.
Hello.
I had this summer, I had an ICD placed after 2 cardiac arrests.
Oh, my God. Okay, an ICD is a defibrillator. It's an implantable cardiac defibrillator. So if your heart is prone to stopping, it will shock you. It will detect when it stops or gets a pulseless rhythm, and then it will shock it back. Because we all know the quicker that you attack something like this, the quicker it'll turn around. Okay? Mm-hmm. All right, so that's what that's about.
I'm wondering what would happen if I was to, let's say, have a blood clot in my leg that went to my heart and started drawing out, like, I guess the heart would send out the blood clot.
Right.
What would happen?
Yeah. So what he's talking about is a pulmonary embolism. When you get a blood clot in your leg, I'm sure racers who do endurance racing have to worry about this. Pilots have to worry about it. People who are on long-distance car rides or plane rides have to worry about it when the venous blood pools in the legs. If it's below the knee, not a big deal. It causes pain and discomfort and swelling. But if it's above the knee, it can move up into the heart. If it's big enough, it can cause a thing called a saddle pulmonary embolism, where it just cuts off the blood supply going to the lung. Mm-hmm. So the heart, it goes up the vein, right, gets into the inferior vena cava, which is the large vein feeding the heart, goes to the right side of the heart, and then gets pumped out to the lung. Normally what's supposed to happen is the lung oxygenates that, and then the pulmonary vein, which actually has arterial blood in it. It's crazy, but vein and artery has to do with what direction the blood is flowing. Is it to the heart or again away from the heart? Again. And again the heart. So that blood, the oxygenated blood, is supposed to go to the left side of the heart and then get pumped out to the rest of the body. Well, when you have a giant embolism and it goes to both branches of the pulmonary artery, no blood can be transmitted, and then the patient will inevitably die if there is not a very rapid resolution of that blood clot, right? Mm-hmm. So if that happened to someone that had one of these implantable defibrillators, when their heart stopped because there was no more blood being transmitted to the body, the implantable cardioverter, or defibrillator would fire, and the heart might beat a time or two, but then it would realize I'm beating it with nothing, and it would stop again, and so it would fire, and it would keep firing until someone turns it off, or if there's an internal program that says only fire a certain number of times. Gotcha. So it would not help that situation. It would fire. Anybody touching you would get a shock. But it wouldn't do anything other than that.
So after how many heart attacks would that come into play?
Well,
or cardiac arrest?
He had cardiac arrest. So I'm assuming he had 2 at the same time. Yeah. Like in the same hospitalization. And it was probably he had an arrhythmia. So the cardiologist said, listen, this is going to happen again, even if we put you on medication to prevent it, because we have antiarrhythmic medications that we can give, but we would like to have a backup plan. Gotcha. And so now if his heart stops again, it'll knock it back into place. But it'll shock it and start it back up again. Okay? Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all, gather round because Monet Exchange from Sibling Rivalry is here with an announcement. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Google Gemini. Now listen, the girls over at Google said, Monet, tell the children, so I'm telling you. U.S. college students get Google Gemini's Pro Plan free for 1 year. Use the best model in the world for multimodal understanding, so whether you're uploading a video to get feedback on your presentation, uploading a photo of your homework to ask for help, or transcribing notes from a lecture you missed, Gemini 3 Pro can help. And baby, if I had this in college, she would have been unstoppable. Picture it. Monet Exchange in the library, uploading a picture of my music theory homework like, Gemini, please help a diva out. Or recording my rehearsal videos for feedback instead of crying in the practice room for 3 hours. This would have been life-changing. Now, back to the goods. Sign up to get more access to Google's most accurate model, Gemini 3 Pro. Unlimited image uploads, pro-level image editing, higher limits in Notebook LM, Gemini in Gmail and Docs, 2 terabytes of storage, and more. You heard me, 2 terabytes. That's enough space to store every vocal warm-up, drag race look, and every photo your aunt sends you of her plants. Visit gemini.google/students to learn more and sign up. Terms apply.
When evaluating potential hires for your small business, it's essential you look beyond resumes. Sure, a candidate may appear impressive on paper, but understanding the person is crucial. LinkedIn, the world's largest professional network, provides a complete view of your candidate's skills, experiences, and interests. With LinkedIn's up-to-date data, you can be confident that you really know who you're hiring. Post your free job at linkedin.com/achieve. That's linkedin.com/achieve. Terms and conditions apply.
This episode is brought to you by McAfee.
I got a message that our flight was canceled. But they can put us on another flight, and we just need to confirm our credit card info.
Wait, I got a security alert from McAfee. It flagged that message as a scam.
McAfee's scam detector automatically spots and alerts you to suspicious texts, emails, and deepfake videos. Learn more at McAfee.com/online protection.
Kraft mac and cheese is the best thing ever. It's even better than pop music. You look just as natural enjoying us at age 13 as you do 55. Kraft mac and cheese. Best thing ever.
Here's my 30-second story with Guinness. As soon as my sister and I get home for the holidays, we don't even unpack. We head straight to our pub. The bartender already knows our order, Guinness and fries. We laugh all night, catch up with old friends, and walk home with faces sore from smiling. It's one of my favorite nights of the year. That was my 30-second story with Guinness.
Guinness Draft Stout. Please enjoy responsibly. Imported by Diageo Beer Company, USA, New York, New York.
All right.
Hello, Dr. Steve.
Hello.
Hey, Scott.
Hey,
the Fluid family. Here's a little bit of a peculiar question. Can
unlike all the other ones,
interfere with somebody's anxieties? Interfere. Can foods interfere with somebody's anxieties?
Excellent
Or can they cause anxieties? Like
the one thing about Stacy is his questions are always good. You can't crap on him for that. These are always excellent questions.
You know, too much bread and the glutens, can that psychologically tweak somebody a little?
Well, if you're gluten sensitive, it certainly can. It'll make you physically feel like shit, which then can make you mentally feel like shit. But diets low in magnesium have been found to increase anxiety-related behaviors. And this mostly in mice, but it most likely translates into humans because foods naturally rich in magnesium, like leafy greens, spinach, Swiss chard, and legumes, nuts, seeds, and whole grains, tend to make people less anxious, and magnesium supplementation certainly does. So another one, foods rich in zinc. That would be oysters, cashews, liver, beef. Well, now listen, Oscar Mayer Braunschweiger, greatest thing in the world, but my mom used to make me eat balls of it. So, you grow up eating certain things, you don't hate them so much. But I want everyone to right now Google Prairie Belt sausage. And I want you to look at the ingredients. And that's all I'm going to say. No spoilers. But first off, the little kid on the can looks like he's getting ready to vomit. But they put him on there. It must be somebody's grandson or something. But it's just a drawing, like a chalk drawing of this kid, and he literally looks like he's getting ready to puke. And when you read the ingredients, you'll see why. All right. So anyway, it's pork spleens. Other foods, including fatty fish, contain omega-3 fatty acids. And their study that they did on medical students in 2011 was one of the first to show that omega-3s may help reduce anxiety. I know that when my kids were diagnosed with ADHD, they wanted them on omega-3s as well. So anyway,
can I take it from there?
Yes, of course.
A couple other things that will increase anxiety. Certainly caffeine.
Yeah.
Caffeine is going to stimulate your sympathetic nervous system.
Give thyself a bell.
Some really high sugar foods, if they increase your energy too much, and they increase your sympathetic nervous system.
What about here's
too stirred up? You'll get anxiety.
I cannot drink coffee because it causes anxiety. You know what else causes anxiety is a hangover for me.
Yeah.
I don't drink hardly at all anymore. But when I do, if I drink enough to get hungover, anxiety is my number one symptom the next day. Here's a traditional Chinese medicine one. The Chinese government approved the use of a certain extract as a natural functional food and beverage ingredient due to its anti-anxiety properties. Do you know what that might have been?
Astragalus.
It's close. Asparagus.
Asparagus. Oh,
yeah, it was asparagus.
How funny. That's cool.
Anyway.
That's why I love asparagus.
Yeah.
I guess.
Some feel-good foods spur the release of neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. And so, it's a safe and easy way to manage anxiety. So,
Can I chime in? I have a
yes,
quick
of
question.
course.
Amazing. So do you think ADHD medicines have a correlation into depression and anxiety? This question was about anxiety, so I thought that.
You mean the medication itself?
The medication itself. The transition will say an older teen.
Yeah.
Older teen.
So there are some some focus medications that are based on antidepressants. One of those is atomoxetine, and the other one, I can't remember the generic name, but it's sold under the trade name Strattera. And all of those can increase depression in people. Now, one of my kids took stimulants and it gave him tics, where he started pulling his hair out and making his face would contort, and so we had to get him off of that and onto the other one. But that's not real common now. The other thing is we will treat adults who are terminally ill with ADHD medication like like dexamphetamine. And we will do that because they don't have 12 weeks for typical antidepressants to kick in. Right. So it does help with depression and fatigue and all of that stuff. Now, any medication can cause depression. What's your question based on? Were you put on something, or did you just have an academic interest in it?
Yeah, well, I used to have really bad ADHD. You've known me my whole life growing up.
Yeah.
It was always a squirrel or polar bear in the room. And I actually got off of them once I got out of high school and went into college. And then college, I don't know if it was just transition from that or what, but it definitely hit a little
coming off of them
down.
Yes. Okay, well, they're uppers. And so when you come off of them, it's a downer.
Yeah.
Now, it shouldn't have lasted very long, but if you actually went through acute withdrawal from stimulants, you can get this thing called acute post-withdrawal syndrome that can last up to 2 years, where you have depression and anxiety and things like that. It's mostly from opioids, but you can get it from withdrawal from anything that your body's habituated to.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah.
So if I had been in charge of your medication, I would have tapered you off of that if you wanted to get off of it. The other thing is I probably would have continued it through college.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
That was my problem. I just quit just like that.
Yeah.
So everything just kind of.
Yeah, yes. Quitting it is absolutely associated with symptoms like that. My kids are took it all through college.
Yeah.
Because they just didn't want to put themselves at risk. They weren't sure, and college was too important to them compared to high school.
Agreed, yeah.
You know, and, you know, people talk about, well, we're doping kids up because they act out. That wasn't it at all. I was against it.
Really?
And then, but the pediatrician said, listen, we're not here to dope them up. What we're here to do is to allow them to succeed in school and in their other, endeavors, because they cannot succeed. And then with the level of ADHD that they had. And then I realized, it made me think back, in 1960, I was in kindergarten, and then 61, 62, I was labeled as an underachiever, and because I had ADHD, well, I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And I was stupid Steve, you know. I would get C's and maybe a D and maybe a B if I was lucky and stuff. And I was just bouncing off the wall. I had ADHD. I look back at it, but they didn't know what it was. Well, then I took the first exam, the standardized exam, I think in the 5th grade, maybe 6th grade, got 99th percentile. My parents were like, what the fuck? So rather than being an obnoxious kid, I was an underachiever, and I was stupid Steve. And I had to figure out how to use it, how to deal with it myself. What I did do is I learned that I could hyper-focus. And so if I made myself want to study, I had to fool myself to say, this is fun. And then it became fun, and then I could hyper-focus on it. And that's when I started getting my 4.0, and I got into medical school and all that stuff. And I use it now to multitask,
Interesting.
But ADHD...
Me too. I use mine as a
fucking
superpower.
sucks.
I use mine as a superpower.
Do you think it goes away? Does it go away with it?
Hell
It doesn't?
No,
but see...
You learn to use it.
You're using it.
Learn to use it for
you're
good,
using
not
it.
for bad, yeah.
When Liam, he loves me talking about him on here, but when he was little, before we got him on medicine, he could play Lego Star Wars. He'd never even seen a Star Wars movie for hours. One day I set the machine up, the Wii, and just wanted to see how long he would go. And I finally had to stop him after like 6 hours.
Goodness.
Now you're doing the same thing. Now you're using your hyper-focus ability that comes from your ADHD, right, in your racing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your superpower.
Because you love it, and now you're
locked in.
hyper-focused on it, you're locked in, and that's one of the reasons why you're going to succeed. I did that with medicine.
Totally agree.
I got one more question. I
Yeah,
know you're
no.
answering questions.
Yes, I'm answering questions. Exactly.
Hypomania. What's your hypomania and hypermania?
Right.
Or that is whenever you have really high highs, you have really low lows.
Yeah.
Do you think that's an effect of ADHD in my focus, or is it an effect of my adrenaline rush from racing?
Could be a little bit of both. That's a hard one. There are people that are have this thing called cyclothymia. They're not really bipolar. The bipolar people have the true manic episodes and the true deep depression, but there are people who have hypomania and then mild, down periods. And they keep trying to classify it as a on the spectrum of bipolar disorder. I have a funny feeling it's a completely different thing. And it can be hormonal. It can be. Scott, you wanted to say something?
Well, yeah,
I could tell you were getting.
and I'm sorry. I was waiting for you to
ahead.
finish your part, but yeah, I think for you specifically in that adrenaline environment, what happens is your sympathetic nervous system's just fired
It's all
up.
the way up there.
What you have to do, is teach yourself to increase your parasympathetic tone.
Yeah.
Which is going to lower.
How's she going to do that?
Well, breathing techniques. Yeah, breathing techniques.
Yep.
In the car. So what she's going to do?
Square breathing.
Square breathing in that car before you start the race. What that'll do is it'll allow you to focus, but not be crazy.
Yep.
To focus.
Do you know about square breathing?
I don't know, but I do know that I have been in trouble by my coaches for not breathing and not talking. They've talked to me on the line before, and I haven't been able to respond because I'm not breathing.
Yes. Yeah, it's real easy to hold your breath when you're under stress like that. So square breathing is a way to manage stress and anxiety and particularly panic attacks too. So when you are under stress, what tends to happen is you hyperventilate, but you don't notice it. You can breathe one extra time too many a minute which you would never notice.
Right.
And you can still blow off carbon dioxide out of your bloodstream so that now it becomes low. And when it becomes low, you get tingling of the fingers, you get tingling around the mouth, and you start feeling palpitations and all these really bad physical symptoms. Now, there's 2 ways that you can take care of. Well, there's lots of ways, actually, but 2 classic ways. One is to breathe into a paper bag, because when you breathe into a paper bag, you're exhaling carbon dioxide, not enough, but you're exhaling some, and then you're inhaling it back in again. And the natural course of that is to increase your carbon dioxide level, and those physical symptoms will go away. When the physical symptoms go away, then the mental symptoms get better, because it's a vicious cycle, right? Now, when you're driving, you can't do that. But what you can do is you can do a thing called square breathing. So we'll do it now. So what we're going to do is each leg of this is of equal measure. We usually use 4 beats. So we're going to inhale for 4 beats. Hold it for 4 beats. Exhale for 4 beats. And then hold it for 4. And then repeat. Now, when you do that, if you will count while you're doing it and do each leg equally, you can only be inhaling or exhaling 25% of the time.
Smart. Okay.
So if you're inhaling or exhaling, you're doing something else 75% of the time, you can't hyperventilate, and it will stop it. Within a minute, it'll stop it. It might be something to do before you get into the, as you get into the car.
Yeah, once you get into the car, before you
pull it out and start to get out there, is do that square breathing and see if that doesn't help.
Yeah, totally.
I'm going to tell you guys something else that's completely unrelated to this, but it just reminded me. This is a technique I saw on YouTube, and I said, this is complete bullshit, and it's not. And have you ever woken up in the middle of the night and you can't get back to sleep again? You're just laying there?
Every night. Yeah.
So, really? Okay, then I want you to try this, because I tried it, and I said, this is bullshit, but I'm going to try it, and I did it, and I was like, holy shit.
How funny.
So what you do is that you're going to be simulating REM sleep with your eyes, okay? So you keep your eyes closed, and while your eyes are closed, you're going to look up with your eyeballs, then look down with your eyeballs, and then look left, and then look to the right. Now, once you've done that, then you're going to sweep around in a circle clockwise, and then you're going to sweep around in a circle anti-clockwise. Now, when I've done that, all of a sudden I wake up, and it's 2 hours later.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
I'll try it.
More than once, or you just
no,
do it
you
once?
can do it as many times as you need to.
Funny.
Okay.
But
I'll try that.
I'm telling you, I thought it was complete horseshit, and I was amazed at how well that worked.
Cool. Well, we'll try it for sure.
Interesting.
So up, down, right, left, or left, right, doesn't matter. And then I think it's anti-clockwise, and then clockwise. But really what you're doing is you're fooling the brain into thinking that it's in REM sleep.
Interesting.
Because the body is weird. You can be depressed. You can become depressed, and then you'll have decreased serotonin in your brain. Or you can have a deficit in serotonin in your brain, you'll become depressed. And this is the kind of same thing, is that when you have REM sleep, your eyes move back and forth in your head. And when you want to induce REM sleep, you can move your eyes back and forth in your head, and you can induce it. It's the same way that not AMSR, EMDR works.
EMDR, right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's a psychological technique where they have lights that move back and forth, and it helps to lock in things in your brain because the brain acts like you're in REM sleep, which is when you're processing information.
I know.
Pretty cool. Anyway.
Interesting.
All right?
All right.
Let's see here. You got anything from the fluid family?
We got a couple.
Well, I do want to do this one, and then we'll get to those.
Hiya,
okay?
Dr. Steve
Hello.
and Weird Medicine crew.
Hello.
Hopefully you don't use the first call I used.
Okay.
I froze. Anyway, my question was about
You need to use square breathing, my friend.
Mic drop.
lucid dreaming and how maybe you could better navigate that
Okay.
and why it happened.
Okay. Have you
Will
ever
you
had
explain that to me? I have no idea. From an outsider's perspective, will you explain that to me?
Have you ever had lucid dreaming?
I don't know what it is.
Oh, okay. Lucid dreaming is when You know how when you're dreaming, you believe all kinds of ridiculous things? Like I had a dream that Paris was in my backyard one day, and I walked out the backyard, and there's the Eiffel Tower, and it's like, why have I been getting on a plane to go to Europe when it was in my backyard all this time? What a dumbass.
I want what he's on.
Yeah, right. And I'm like, oh, I'm just stupid. I guess I must be an idiot, but it was just my gullible dream brain.
Is that when you're falling? Like you feel like you're physically falling in your sleep and you wake up out of nowhere? Is that what we're talking about?
That's something different.
Yeah.
That's
What
a
is that?
hypnagogic episode. That's like if you will have it that you're just falling into sleep and all of a sudden a car is going to come out of nowhere and you're going to ram into them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to wake up. That's called a hypnagogic episode. Dr. Scott has it. He sees a baseball. I see a soccer ball because I played soccer. But everybody will have something like that. And hypnagogic episodes are always happen when you're going from non-sleep to sleep. And then something will, or you may just feel like you're falling. And then you'll wake up all of a sudden. So this is a little different. These are hypnopompic episodes where you're going from sleep to non-sleep, and some switch in your brain is not working properly, and you wake up, but you're still dreaming. So the conscious part of your brain turns on, and all of the truth, understanding, and not believing in Paris being in your backyard circuits are now active, but you're still dreaming.
Okay.
I've had this where I could see everything in my room, but I was paralyzed and I couldn't move because when you're in REM sleep, your body is paralyzed because it doesn't want you running around acting out your dreams. That's where sleepwalking comes from. So there are all these little switches that all have to work, and when any one of them doesn't work, different things happen, right? So if the paralysis switch doesn't turn on, you get up out of bed and you start walking around. If the paralysis switch is on, but the unconscious switch is not turned on, then you wake up and you're paralyzed and you're still dreaming. I would hear like paper fluttering around me, like it was in 3D, perfect 3D. I could see the room, everything. I could see my counter. I could see the wallpaper on the wall, but none of this was real. My eyes were closed, but I could see it. And I remember I willed myself, the last time this happened to me, I willed myself to sit up. I didn't actually sit up. I levitated up because I couldn't sit up, but I could levitate up. And then I looked over to the left and I saw a gurney, a hospital gurney next to my bed. And it scared me and I just woke up real quick. But when I woke up, I was laying down. It was dark in the room, all that stuff. So it shows you a couple of things. The mental map that you have in your brain is pretty perfect, because I could see every detail in my room as if I were awake, and that this thing is exploitable. So,
is this deep sleep you're in?
It's you're emerging from sleep, so you're most likely in that late REM sleep thing when this happens. But there are people that can harness it, and they can go wherever they want. They can fly.
That's awesome.
Anthony Cumia goes and has intercourse with all kinds of women in his dreams. He's talked about it. I'm not saying anything out of school. And I have another friend who has this that can kind of harness it. But so if you Tacey, your Aunt Tacey, was having these lucid dreams where when she was working out of town, where someone was laying on top of her. I think she just forgot to kick her boyfriend out of the room. But anyway, I told her that if she wanted to control it, all she had to do was, in her dream, is imagine her hand and see her hand. She had to lift her hand up and regard it and look at it. If she was able to do that, then she could take control of the dream.
Why is that? How is that? Why is the hand the factor, not like
a
leg?
It could be
something?
anything. It could be a leg, but it's just easier to imagine. It's harder to imagine you looking at your leg when you're laying down, but it's easy to lift up your hand. But you're doing it in your sleep, so it's got to be something that your brain can process in it during a dream. But if you do that, then all that sleep paralysis bullshit will go away. You'll just wake up all of a sudden, you'll go, oh, I know what's going on. Or you can take control of the dream and you can go run around doing what Anthony does. So nobody understands this. We just don't understand how the brain works. And we don't know why we sleep. it seems like most everything's, higher organisms sleep. Fish sleep. Cats, dogs, rats, squirrels, they all sleep. It's something that it goes way back in our evolutionary history. And it probably has something to do with the brain being so complex and so much processing going on that it just needs that time to just kind of file things away. There's a subroutine in there that files everything away and sets everything and gets it ready for the next day. Because if you don't sleep, you go nuts.
Right.
Anyway, it's fascinating though. But that's all I know about it. You know anything about it?
Nope.
No.
Not about what you're saying.
Anybody out there has lucid dreams? Reach out to me. We'll put you on. I want to hear stories about it. All right. You want to go for the other, the fluid family, and then we'll get out of here?
Yeah, we can wrap it up.
Yep.
Wrap it up.
We're going to play some music, too.
Yeah, we got a birthday song to play real quick.
Okay.
We have a couple little short ones.
Okay. Yep.
Let's see here. Lovett was asking, has not grown any hair on legs, under the arms, eyebrows for over 10 years. Any thoughts? A couple.
Say that again.
No growth of hair on legs, under the axillas or eyebrows in over 10 years.
Oh no! All of those places.
That's
so just on the legs. That can be circulation. It could be too tight, compression socks,
diabetes,
stuff like that.
Right. Anything, yeah.
But if it's everywhere, then it's alopecia.
Yep.
And there was a woman on the Great British Baking Show that had alopecia universalis, and she was just completely had no hair on her body anywhere.
Yeah, in alopecia, the greatest guitar picker in the world right now, female guitar picker, is Molly Tuttle. Molly Tuttle's got alopecia.
She does?
She sure does. She wears wigs, and sometimes she doesn't. She just goes slick. And
just go with that.
She's beautiful. I mean, she's a beautiful lady, and God, she can burn up a guitar.
That's what matters.
Holy mow.
Yeah. So see a dermatologist.
Yeah,
about
see a
that.
dermatologist.
Yep.
Usually on an autoimmune disorder. I mean,
It's
some stress induced.
Your body is attacking the hair follicles.
Yeah, and there's some. Again, we talked about the breathing techniques a couple times. Again, something maybe to consider. If it is autoimmune, if it is stress-induced, go back before you start taking a whole bunch of pills. Maybe look into these stress mitigating things.
Alopecia areata is where you have patchy, sort of coin-like loss of hair in the scalp. And we'll treat those with intradermal steroid injections, and the hair will grow back. You just can't do that all over your whole body. No. That's the problem.
No. Real quick, we got Kentucky Amy, who we're going to sing a birthday to. She says her husband has an internal defibrillator, can no longer use chainsaws or anything.
Whose birthday is that? Amy's?
Amy, yeah. Kentucky Amy, yep. Hickey. It's going to be anything with a high electrical current. She said he's not happy, but he is alive. So
they make gas chainsaws, for God's sake.
Exactly. Yes. Hey,
honey. Here's an electric chainsaw for you.
And they also make the little ones you can put on the end of a pole and stick it up in the tree.
Well, that is true too.
Let's see. How about
here we go.
Go ahead.
Crystal Williams, 1331.
That's
was that
what I was
going to
do.
Okay, go ahead and ask it. Yeah.
Real quick, visual hands-on. Do any advice we have for a visual hands-on learner in nursing school who isn't getting much clinical experience and is struggling with theory?
Yeah, you know what? AI. Take your lessons, put it in. Try this. Go to Google.NotebookLM. Take your lessons if they're in electronic form or convert them to PDF, upload them, and say, make me a visual presentation on this, and it will make you a PowerPoint presentation.
That's crazy.
And then you can also get it to illustrate things. I think Google Gemini is awesome. Gemini Pro is worth it. It's like, I don't know, $19 a month, something like that. And you can use it for all kinds of things. But one of the things that you can use it for is to say, create an image from this so that I can understand what the hell this is talking about. But there are people with learning, I don't want to say disability. It's not really a disability, but we all learn differently. Some of us are very visual learners, and you can use AI to help with that.
And tactile learners, I would even say reach out to some friends that have clinics that you can actually go in and follow.
Yes.
And that's what I would say.
Yeah.
To me, that would be better for someone like me who's really hands-on, really tactile. Ask around. Because there are people who let you kind of follow them and learn how to do things.
Yeah. Crystal, you can email us anytime if there's something you don't understand. All right. That it?
Let's do it.
Okay.
It's hotter than 14 shits in here.
Oh, yeah, I know. But see, Lexi doesn't notice it because she's used to 400-degree.
Exactly.
Somebody was asking about NAC supplements, and I'll just answer that real quick.
Yeah, sure.
It was Chris Mack and a couple other people.
Okay.
Crystal Williams, I think, was asking about. They asked about NAC supplements. That's N-acetylcysteine.
Mm-hmm.
We will use that in the hospital for people that have a lot of mucus in their lungs, and it's a mucolytic. And and we also use it for Tylenol overdose.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So you give it orally or intravenously, and it prevents kidney or liver damage from the acetaminophen. But some people are taking it because it regulates a neurotransmitter called glutamate, and it may boost these things called glutathione levels, and it may help manage symptoms of Alzheimer's and or Parkinson's. The data is still out on that, but they're working on it. There are studies that suggest that N-acetylcysteine may help alleviate symptoms of depression.
Yeah, that's a good anti-inflammatory, possibly.
It may improve fertility with people with oxidative stress.
Exactly.
And so the accepted daily supplement is around 600 to 1,800 milligrams, divided into 2 or 3 doses, but I'm not recommending it. Talk to your prescriber before you just go taking things.
Before you do it, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank
All
you.
right, everybody.
Thank you.
And let me see
what
here.
are we gonna do today?
What?
Number one
go
thing,
ahead.
don't take advice from some asshole on the radio.
What were you going to say?
I got a second song for us. We'll do the birthday song for Kentucky Amy.
Okay. Well, we'll do that after.
Yep.
We weren't going to do it. Did you want to do it during the show?
Oh, no, afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, I apologize. I didn't mean
No. Don't apologize. Whatever. God, you've been doing this long enough. You don't have to apologize. And by the way, N-acetylcysteine can slow blood clotting. So if you're planning on driving a NASCAR around and you might hit a wall, then that might not be the best supplement for you. And absolutely don't take it. I'm just trying to include you, Lexi.
No, you're good.
Don't take it before surgery. You got to stop it 2 weeks before surgery, which is why you have to tell
I could not.
your surgeons and other healthcare providers that what supplements you're taking over the counter.
Okay.
Because I take a shitload of supplements because I'm old and I'm trying to stay relatively young despite all the crap that's going on with my stupid body. But my list, at my doctor's office has all of my supplements on it because I want them to know what I'm taking.
Before we hear a song, can I ask one more question?
Yeah,
one
of course.
final question?
Yeah, of course.
You had mentioned overdose and Tylenol. Why? I am oblivious to this, and I don't want to offend anybody. But whenever people are choosing what to take for an overdose, why Tylenol rather than Dayquil or NyQuil or Advil PM or all these things?
You mean when they
out
want
there?
to kill themselves, you mean?
Referring to the overdose earlier.
Yeah.
Just in general. Like, is that the pill that people choose? And if so, why?
Right,
Does it have more power?
It's easy
Yeah.
to get, easy to get.
Okay.
And it's relatively, I don't want to say painless, but it's easy.
Okay.
And when you see, NyQuil doesn't do that. It will make you sleepy, but it's probably not going to kill you.
Yeah.
But the Tylenol can destroy your liver. If you don't tell somebody you did it.
So that's what does it. It destroys. That's how it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Interesting.
Yep. So, that's the number one cause of self-induced death in Europe, I think, is acetaminophen.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's the drug of choice for that. So don't do that.
Don't, no.
Dial 998. Is it 998 or
Yes.
988? It's 998. God, why am I having a problem? Remember that all of a sudden. Hang on. Yeah, 988. Dial 988 if you're feeling like you want to hurt yourself or somebody else. Or if you have a substance abuse issue, you can call there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. All right, we'll see you next week, everybody. Thanks, Lexi.
Thank you.
Thanks for ending it on a bummer, Lexi.
No, it was awesome.
I'm just kidding. All right, take care, everybody.
All right.
Check your stupid nuts for lumps, too.
All right, y'all, gather round because Monet Exchange from Sibling Rivalry is here with an announcement. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Google Gemini. Now listen, the girls over at Google said, Monet, tell the children, so I'm telling you. U.S. college students get Google Gemini's Pro Plan free for 1 year. Use the best model in the world for multimodal understanding, so whether you're uploading a video to get feedback on your presentation, uploading a photo of your homework to ask for help, or transcribing notes from a lecture you missed, Gemini 3 Pro can help. And baby, if I had this in college, she would have been unstoppable. Picture it. Monet Exchange in the library, uploading a picture of my music theory homework like, Gemini, please help a diva out. Or recording my rehearsal videos for feedback instead of crying in the practice room for 3 hours. This would have been life-changing. Now, back to the goods. Sign up to get more access to Google's most accurate model, Gemini 3 Pro. Unlimited image uploads, pro-level image editing, higher limits in Notebook LM, Gemini in Gmail and Docs, 2 terabytes of storage, and more. You heard me, 2 terabytes. That's enough space to store every vocal warm-up, drag race look, and every photo your aunt sends you of her plants. Visit gemini.google/students to learn more and sign up. Terms apply.